Yo, once again it's on. Back at you one more again, you know what I mean? Real Kens TV. Back in the house like kitchen sinks. Hopefully you like the video. Feel free to comment, share, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and hit that post notification so anytime I bring you this heat, this action, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive it, man. With no further ado, I like to talk about Karen, if you will. Now, a lot of you may know who Karen is, and a lot of you may not know who Karen is. So, I encourage you to just Google Karen. In a nutshell, Karen is a middle-aged white woman that feels privileged and thinks that because she sheds a couple of tears, everything is supposed to go in her favor. Not caring who it affects, and typically it's a black man. Had a situation, man, and see, the stories that I give you all are deep and real, genuine stories from the heart, things that actually happen. But for some reason, I can't get people to really share my stories, or YouTube to really push my stories like that. And I get it. I understand, man. I understand what type of world we live in. I understand, that people don't want to hear the real, they want to hear the foolishness. But like I said, I'm never going to risk my integrity by making up stories and just telling stuff that people want to hear. So guess what? If I continue to get 25, 30 views, if that, hey, as long as 25, 30 people tune in to me, I'm cool with that, man. You know what I'm saying? As long as I know that I kept it real. But like I was saying, it was a situation that happened with me, I DoorDash, as well as work another job. People know that I've spent a significant amount of time in prison. Haven't been in prison for years. I've came home this time, changed my life, doing everything that I'm supposed to do on the positive end. And I was DoorDashing, and as I'm driving past, it's raining. It's raining really hard that day. I see an elderly man that's in his front yard, and he had clearly fallen. He couldn't get up. He was like on his knees, and he was trying to get up, but he just couldn't get up. So I rode past, and my conscience got to messing with me, and I said, you know what, man, I can't leave this man out in the rain like that. So I turned around. I came back. I said, sir, do you need some help? Are you okay? And he was like, yeah, I slipped and fell in my back, and I can't get up. And he wasn't a heavy set man, but he was a larger man. He was probably about 6'1", maybe 250, something like that. So I was like, okay. So I pull over. I get out of my car, and I'm looking around to see if there's anybody else that may be able to assist me, but I didn't see anybody else. So I go over, I try to, I'm helping him up. But as I mentioned, he's like 6'1", 250. He's a large dude. And he's elderly. So I'm trying to help him up, but every time I'm trying to help him up, he's, his traction, his shoes that he has on, he doesn't have the best traction in the world, because he's in the grass and it's raining. So I'm like, okay, sir, this is what we're going to do. Wrap your arm around me, and then when you wrap your arm around me, I'm going to pull you up. Now, mind you, at this particular time, I had a hernia in my belly button, man, from all the weights that I used to lift and heavy weights. And so I had a hernia that I hadn't taken care of at the time. I since have. Because this happened just a few months ago. So I've since, gone to the doctor and had my surgery and everything. I'm cool. But at the time, man, I'm not even supposed to be lifting anything significantly, weight-wise. So I'm helping him up, but he keeps falling. His feet, he continues to fall. Now, all the while I'm doing this, I see a car. And it's a lady. She drives by like the first couple times, the first time she drives past, it's kind of like she's looking, but she keeps going. I didn't think anything of it. People ride past and they're looking, and she never asked, is everything okay, are you cool, or anything like that. So I noticed she drives back the opposite end of the street, you know what I'm saying, or the opposite side of the street rather. She comes back, like she goes to the end of the street and turns around. She comes back and she's looking, and I'm still not really thinking much of it. Well, she drives past a third time and she's on the phone. Once again, I'm not really thinking much of it. I'm just trying to help the gentleman get in out of the rain, and my concern, I was just hoping that he was okay, because he seemed a little distraught. And only thing I could think about was my mother being stuck out there in the rain. I would say, if I had to guess, he had to have been pushing 80 if he wasn't 80. But he looked good for his age, though. Don't get me wrong. He was, probably just slip and fell, whatever the case may be. So I could only imagine my mother being stuck out there, and I would want someone to help her. So I'm helping him, and the whole process probably takes about maybe 5 minutes. And the rain is pouring and pouring. So I look up, and I see his wife. Assumed it was his wife. I later learned that it was, but I just naturally assumed she's standing in the doorway, but she's just kind of looking. She has the door open, the screen door open, she's looking. But I guess by the time she's seen what was going on, her level of comfortability, if you will, she was okay because she seen me helping him. Well, I finally get him up. I'm like, okay, sir, let's go. We gonna walk to the porch. I'm gonna get you out of this rain. So he's like, okay. So, we're walking, and we're walking slowly, and I get him out of the rain. I get him onto the porch. Well, getting him up the stairs was another task, because they had maybe, how the front porch is, maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 steps. So, we're walking up the steps. Well, this car that I told you about, the lady that I told you that was in this car, she was a white lady. She pulls up frantically, jumps out of the car, and runs up to the porch. And she's like, oh my God, what is going on? I didn't know what was going on. I called the police. I seen him laying there on the ground, and I seen this guy, and I didn't know. The lady used to care for the gentleman. I don't know if it was some sort of, if she came to the home to care for him. Maybe if he was, at a hospital or medical facility or something of that nature, but she used to care for him because, first of all, she said it, but then she's speaking with the wife, and she's like, oh my God, I just didn't know what to do, and he, he's a large man, and I couldn't pick him up, and then I seen this guy right here, and she's essentially saying, I seen this guy, and I didn't know if this guy did anything to him. So she's sitting up there frantically speaking to the wife, and she's asking him, and trying to do all of this to him. Are you okay? I'm sorry. Next thing I know, the police pull up. 2 police pull up. They jump out of the car. One's a black police officer, one's a white police officer. They're in the same car. So they come up and they asking what's going on or whatever. And I'm still tending to the gentleman, to the older gentleman. You okay, sir? She's talking to the police, and she's telling them basically like, this is one of my former clients, and he fell, and I don't know what's going on, and I seen him, and I didn't know, and I tried to help him, and I see this guy right here, and I never recognized him, and I don't know what's going on, and I just want to make sure he's okay. And tears start coming out of her eyes. And I'm looking, and so the officer's like, sir, do you know this gentleman? And I'm like, no, I don't know him. I was door dashing, as I explained to you. I was door dashing, and I stopped. I seen him. I rode past, and then my conscience, and I said, no, I can't leave him like this. I came back, and I tried to help him, but it took a while because he's, it's raining. It's slippery outside. I have a physical ailment with my hernia. He's a larger dude, weighs more than me. I don't weigh 250. You know what I mean? So I'm explaining this to the officer, and it's as though she's trying to make it as though I did something to the guy. And I'm looking at her like, wow. She never said it. She never came out and said, well, he did this. But it was a whole lot of, I was just concerned because I seen this guy and he's a larger guy and he has dreads. And yeah, a lot of times you can't see him, man. But, got, nice dreads or whatever, nice locks. But nevertheless, she said that to the officer. So the black officer was like, ma'am, him having dreads, what does that have to do with anything? So the gentleman, he was trying to get his wits about himself, and he was like, oh, no, this gentleman helped me. I slipped and I fell, and he was explaining to the officers what had happened. The wife was explaining, and it was just one of those things to where it was just like, wow. See, I've been hearing about Karen for a long, long time, and I knew it to be true, but I experienced it when I was younger, but I never really ran into that situation since I've been an adult. And I'm thinking to myself, this woman really could have had me, the police could have came and not believed me, and the man, let's just say he wasn't able to explain to the officers what happened. Next thing I know, I've been in the county jail, man. It's a sad world we live in, man. And these Karens out here, they keep getting these black guys arrested, locked up, falsely charged, falsely accused. It has to stop, man. It has to stop. You shed a couple tears, then everybody feels sorry for you and just automatically convicts the person that you're speaking of, and that's just wrong. And that woman acted a fool. She never once volunteered to help. She clearly seen that I was helping that guy. Clearly. You done drove up 2 or 3, 4 times before you even got out of the car, or drove past rather. First thing you think to do is call the cops, call the police, man. Here I am, a complete stranger, helping a complete stranger. And I'd do it again. Because like I said, if my mother, my father's deceased, unfortunately, may rest in peace. But if my mother had fallen, or anyone in my family, or anyone that I'm close to had fallen, I would want someone to get out and do the right thing and help them. And here you have this woman driving past, man, starting trouble, man. And that happens so many times. So many times. These Karens get these black guys in trouble. And they ain't just black guys. They get white guys in trouble just as well. All the only thing they got to do is shed some tears. And the officer's going to feel sorry for them. A lot of times. Not all the time. In my case, it didn't happen that way. They were so grateful to me, man. They offered me some money. They offered, no sir, no ma'am. That's what I'm supposed to do. That's my duty. That's what I'm supposed to do. See, I'm from the era of you respect your elders. Your elders tell you shut the hell up. Guess what? You shut the hell up. It don't matter if you know them, you don't know them. This generation now, they say we don't respect our elders. Well, I don't respect this generation now. The ones that feel that way. And that's why a lot of them's getting locked up and getting the time that they getting. But nevertheless, getting back to Karen, I just think it's very, very sad, man. And I hope that you all that take the time to watch this video, man, you share this video, man. Because people need to see this message. They need to hear this message. I know I'm not on there talking about somebody getting arrested, somebody getting shot, somebody getting locked up, somebody getting, dissed in a rap song, somebody. It's not this type of video, man. These Karens have to be stopped, man. Because if not, guess what? They're going to continue to do so. And I have another video that I'm going to share with you all about another Karen. Terrell Owens, formerly of the Dallas Cowboys. All you got to do is Google it. It's online. See how she did him and try to have him, arrested. And start shedding tears when he did absolutely nothing to the lady. Nothing. But I'm going to bring you that video. I may bring it tonight, man. Real Kens TV. Hopefully you like the video. Feel free to comment on it. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. And that post notification. Anytime I bring you this heat, this action, you're amongst the first to receive it. I'm sorry, I'm looking over at Wendy's. I want to go get me a salad. I'm trying to eat healthy, man. And line's way around the corner, man. But definitely make sure you all share this video, man, because it needs to be out there and it needs to be seen, man. These Karens, and they know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. They need to be stopped, man, before they really, really get somebody in trouble. Well, heck, I can't even say before because they have. Not many black dudes are sitting in prison right now because of the Karens. Because she shed a couple tears. That's just what it is, man. You know what I mean? Real Kens TV, man. I got to hit you with the real. I can't come at you with no other. That's the only way I know how to come at you is with the real. I'm not like a lot of these other guys that get on here and no knock on nobody. But people get on here and just make up a story, tell any type story. That's just not me. It's not my forte. So I keep taking these 20 and 15 and 25, 35 views. That's cool. Because guess what? As long as I got some people that's tuned in and they know that I'm genuinely coming at them in a genuine manner, with a genuine story, that's all that matters to me, man. Real Kens TV. We out.